It is time. It's time to stop hiding. It's time to stand up. It's time for Christians to come together, to share their testimony, inspire hope, and to join their brothers and sisters as we answer the call. It's time to wake up the lions. Thank you for joining us today on this special Sunday Select episode. We will be broadcasting on Sundays from now on. We're going to move into more of a live, setting later. But for right now, we're going to be doing recordings and putting them out on Sundays so that you can attend your regular churches, your regular places of worship, and then you can listen to this when you're ready, maybe on the ride home. Maybe this would be a great way to cap off that fantastic feeling that you're enjoying on your way back from your Sunday worship. Folks, this is where we also are going to take select, verses and passages from the Bible itself, and we're going to use them in talking about things that are very important to our movement, to this battle that we're in right now. And I'm not someone who's going to sit here and read the Bible to you. Believe me, that's not this type of a show. There are plenty of shows who do a fantastic job of that. We're going to be having a lot of those folks on as guests, actually, who do that. And I'm looking forward to that very, very much. But I'm not going to try and turn this show into that because this show is about the battle. This show is about waking people up to go out there and take their place at the front of the line and join the battle that we're all in. So, as we move forward, the passage we're going to talk about today is Book of Samuel. And, the area really is Samuel 17, um, 1733 over to uh, 51. Okay, there it is. And hey, I'm not joking. If you're on the video, you can see I've got my Bible right in front of me, and we're reading this in real time here. So this is my favorite story, always has been. And from when I was a kid, I loved this story. And I think everyone does at some point or another. It's the first underdog story really ever recorded, the way it is, and it's the best, and always will be. And that's the story of David, story of David and Goliath. Now, a lot of folks might go, "Oh, I've heard this story a million times." Let me tell you something: you have not heard it like this, because today, folks, we're not going to talk about what David did. We aren't talking about how he went out and slew Goliath. Everybody knows that. What we're going to talk about today, especially in regards to what we are trying to accomplish here on this program, we're going to talk about what David did not do. You see, this goes unnoticed. And this is a part of the translation. It's part of the connection to current life, to our current battle, that everybody misses. And I want to make sure I'm pointing this out because, folks, when you can take stuff like this and you can apply it to what you're doing and what you believe in your daily life, this is where true power comes from. This is where the power within just flows and goes. It's where you connect with the word. There are three big things David did not do. And if we take those on, if we imitate that to the best of our ability, if we strive to be more like David in that, the things he did not do, folks, it's going to help us immensely with what we're trying to do. So follow along with me just for a minute. Like I said, I'm not going to read a lot of the scripture. There will be a couple of points, but um, the first thing, okay, is, and we'll turn back just a bit. Um, David has been called by God to go out and to fight and we're going to say Philistine. Okay, it might be Philistine, but for the sake of me not losing my mind on what's right and the way I've heard it differently, even in the last week in doing research, I'm just going to call it a Philistine. Okay, but King Saul says to David in Samuel 17:33, and Saul said to David, "Thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth, and he a man of war from his youth." And David said unto Saul, here it comes, thy servant kept his father's sheep. There came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. Thy servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine shall be as one of them, seeing he hath defied the armies of the living God. David said, moreover, the Lord that delivered me out of the paw of the lion and out of the paw of the bear, he will deliver me out of the hand of this Philistine. He'd been called, folks. He knew, he believed, and he believed so strongly that King Saul didn't need anything else. And he said, and Saul said unto David, go, and the Lord be with thee. What David did not do, the first thing that David did not do was David did not doubt God. David did not doubt his calling. Folks, we are called every day to do something in service of the Lord. And we don't listen. We rationalize. We come up with a million reasons why. Well, I know I should be doing this, but I don't have time. The kids, my spouse, my job, I'm just not up to it. I deserve a break. Folks, how many times have we rationalized ourselves out of doing the right thing, out of following what is maybe our calling because it's too difficult or we doubt ourselves or we don't have that kind of faith in us? We don't have that kind of faith in God. Remember, God's not, he doesn't call the equipped. He's not calling you to do something because you're ready for it. He equips the called. He's calling you because you need it, because you're ready. You don't know you're ready. You don't need to know you're ready. He knows you're ready. So the first thing of the three things, the first is that David did not doubt God. He did not ignore his calling. He went to the battlefield. He went right up to the king and he said, look, this is what happened. This is what I've done. And this is what God said to me. And he said it with such belief. He said it with such power, okay, from his soul, that the king didn't even argue at that point. The king went, go. May the Lord be with you. And that was it. The second thing that David did not do. Let me find this spot here in the Bible, right? They start to equip David after Saul gives the okay. He puts on, a helmet and brass and, chainmail and everything else. It doesn't fit. It's too heavy. He can't move. Um, Everyone's making fun of him. Even his own brothers are laughing at him. When he first goes up to the king basically goes, listen, you're a shepherd, man. Okay. Stay in your lane, get back in line, right? Everyone thinks he's going to fail. Nobody thinks he's ready for this. He, the only one who thinks he's ready for it is God. The second thing that David did not do, and one of the things that wipes us out as Christians who are trying to do better in the world, right? Trying to live more aligned with our faith. David did not give any value to the opinions and the words of others. None. I mean, imagine you're on a battlefield. You're getting ready to go risk your life against the most powerful soldier ever, a giant by all standards. And you have an entire army behind you, a nation behind you, laughing at you, doubting you, making fun of you. Could you stand up to that? Isn't that one of the biggest reasons why we all stop short of proclaiming our faith? Isn't that one of the biggest reasons why we won't put something on social media that says, I love God, I'm a Christian, and I'm proud of it? Because we know we're going to get ridicule, we're going to get hate, we're going to get people accusing us of this or that, and people are going to say, oh, well, then you're a racist or, this ist or that ism or whatever the case might be. We don't want to even say to our families, hey, I want to go back to church because I feel like I'm missing something inside of me. Because our family might be, oh, come on, do we have to do that? There's resistance everywhere because the devil's strong. There's resistance to us being stronger in our faith at every turn because we have to go through that. It's there on purpose. And worrying about what others will say, worrying about the opinions of the crowd, the faceless, nameless crowd, paralyzes us in this world that we live in today. We can't step out and have someone go, "What are you doing?" When I started putting out, the word, I'm going to, do a podcast called Wake Up the Lions, and I'm going to talk about, people standing up and being counted as Christians. Well, the people who knew me, who knew that I could take that, they were like, awesome. I can't wait to see where this goes. People who didn't know me when they first heard about it, oh my goodness. They were like, "You're doing what? You better not." Folks, this is one of the things that wipes us out. This is the problem. That's number two here about giving value to the opinions of others, being worried about being embarrassed, being worried about standing alone in your beliefs, right? That is the thing that paralyzes us worse than any other point. And what I want you to realize is that when you are doubting yourself, when you're doubting your calling, when you're saying, "Oh, I really can't do that," you're not really doubting yourself. And you're not really doubting the calling. You're doubting God. You're saying, "God, you're wrong." You're saying, "God, I don't believe you. This is your word that I go out and I do this. I feel it. I know it. But even though you think I'm ready, I'm not." Folks, who are we to doubt God? So that's number two. The third thing that David did not do, and this is one of my favorites, okay, because one of the things that we do, folks, is we go, "Well, you know what, Rory, man, I hear everything you're saying. God, you're right. You are so right. I do worry about what everybody else is saying. I do doubt myself. I have doubted God in the past, and I'm not doing it anymore. So I'm going to go and I'm going to think about this, and I'm going to make a plan, and when I'm ready, I'm gonna move forward." And we shoot ourselves right in the foot. Okay, because the third thing that David did not do that wipes us out on our mission is David did not hesitate. Did not hesitate. David acted. When it came up and the battle was going on, David went right to the king. He didn't go, "Well, let's see how all these other guys do, and maybe I'll think about it." He was called, he ignored everyone else, and he acted. Boom. It says right here in Samuel 17:48. "And it came to pass when the Philistine arose and came and drew nigh to meet David, that David hasted and ran toward the enemy to meet the Philistine." He didn't sit back and go, "Okay, God, take care of me. Here we go." He said, "I've been called. Let's go." And he grabbed his sling and he ran into battle. He did not hesitate. Folks, if you're sitting there and you're listening to this, I don't know if you're at home, if you're in your car, if you're at your office, I don't care. If you're feeling this at all, if you understand that this is absolutely the truth about our faith, about you, about me, then stop waiting. Do not hesitate. I'm inviting any one of you that's listening to this. You don't need to be an author. You don't need to be a podcaster. You don't need to be a TV star. You don't have to be a pastor or, some authority. You can be A normal, regular mom, dad, husband, wife, kid, it doesn't matter. You can be a normal, regular, everyday person who believes in God and has God to impact their life and wants to stand up and say, I believe. I want to be a lion. So I'm inviting all of you. So if you're hearing this and you're saying, you know what? I have doubted God. I have doubted my calling. If you're sitting there and you're listening to this and you're saying, you know, I do give way too much value to the opinions of others, way too much. And if you're sitting there and you're listening to this and you get to number three, I really, I do hesitate. I do hold back. When it's time for me to act, especially about, displaying my faith, very often I fail to act. If you're agreeing on any of these points, stand up and run. Run into the fray, folks. It is time. The three things David did not do, laid out, read right from the Bible. I even showed it to you. This is indisputable. He did not doubt God and his calling. He did not give any value to the opinions of others, and he did not hesitate. Folks, what if we all were just a little more like David? What would the world look like? What would our lives look like? It's time. Folks, it's time to wake up the lions. More than that, it's time for you to take your rightful place with your brothers and sisters and let them hear you roar. The world is ready, and so are you. Believe it.